What is up, bros and broettes? I'm Inkslasher, and this is my second time recording this video. So we're talking about Infinite Warfare today, and the first time I made this video, I think I was a little bit too negative. I was a little bit over the top negative with Call of Duty, and I didn't like the sound of it, so I wanted to redo this and kind of try to re-explain myself. So today we're talking about the truth behind Infinite Warfare, what's going on behind the scenes, what everyone's actually thinking about the game, and whether or not the game is going to be worth your time, because a lot of people haven't bought this game. A lot of people really have not bought this game. It's in the numbers. It's been announced that last year, at least in the UK, the sales are down 48% over Black Ops 3. Now, I get it that that is only the actual physical copies. That doesn't include digital downloads, and of course, as years go by, more people are buying the digital downloads. So I'd guess that's maybe down 40% over Black Ops 3, or some number like that. But let's be honest, that's horrible. Call of Duty is doing horrible this year as far as sales go, and it reflects in many YouTubers, including myself's numbers. My views are down, many other YouTubers are down. You may have heard before Infinite Warfare came out, a lot of YouTubers were saying, don't you worry, once Infinite Warfare comes out, our views are going to skyrocket. That's normally what happens when Call of Duty comes out. Not for many YouTubers this year. The biggest YouTubers, they're doing well, like your T Martins, your Drifters, they're doing well, but your middle to even large size YouTubers, including like Hollow Point and other guys around his size, aren't doing so well. Like, their views are down compared to Black Ops 3. Whether that will change throughout this Call of Duty's life cycle, I don't know, and that's yet to be decided. But I really think we can break this down to 4 massive problems that Call of Duty Infinite Warfare has. Now, first, before I get into those 4 massive problems, I do have to say this, and I do have to preface this with this video with this. And this is what I missed the first time I recorded this video. I'm enjoying the game. I think it's not a horrible Call of Duty. This Call of Duty, before it came out, was labeled as a horrible Call of Duty, and I really don't think that's the case. I think it's almost very similar to, almost identical actually, to Black Ops 3, and the gameplay, if you enjoyed the gameplay in Black Ops 3, you will enjoy the gameplay in Infinite Warfare. But I do think there is 4 problems with the game that people are really having trouble passing by, and I wanted to talk about those. And some of them, I believe, can actually be fixed now that the game is even out. Some of them I don't think can be, but some of them I think can, and that's what I want Infinity Ward and Activision to hear through this video. So the first of which is something they cannot fix. The first of which is that they didn't listen to their community, and they're not listening to their community throughout the release of the game. And for a long time, they haven't listened to their community. When we said we don't want supply drops, they kept bringing back supply drops. When we said parties weren't working in Black Ops 3, they didn't listen and fix parties. They are just not listening, and in fact, they're not communicating with their community. And this is something who Marksman, a guy I've made videos with and I would say friends with, has talked about many times before throughout Black Ops 3, and it is a problem. He's 100% right in saying that. So, and this right here, what I'm talking about with them not communicating with their community, is the reason why I truly believe Infinite Warfare is currently in the middle of one of the largest belly flops in Call of Duty history. Because they simply didn't listen. We said during Black Ops 3, we don't want a future Call of Duty game. At that point, I get it. There was nothing they could do about it, and they were kind of already halfway through that belly flop. However, they needed to listen before that. They needed to have their fingers on the pulse of the community to actually know that people didn't want that. And they don't. They haven't for a really long time. If they were just literally had communication open with the community, they would know what people want. And clearly, very clearly, either 1, they don't know, or 2, they don't care. And those are both big problems. And for the first time ever, it's reflecting in the sales of Call of Duty, which is a good thing, is a good thing for Call of Duty in the long run, is a bad thing for the short-term time for me, because I make Call of Duty videos, and if people aren't interested in them, I don't get paid. It's that simple. However, in the long run, this is good for the Call of Duty community, and it's good that people are finally letting them know why their game isn't selling. And that's the thing, is Activision, as far as I see it, doesn't speak with words. They speak in numbers and dollar figures, and this is the first time they're seeing a massive, massive drop in that. This tunes into the next thing we need to talk about, which is supply drops, salvage, and keys in Infinite Warfare. This is something that can somewhat actually be fixed. So, as we know, there are weapon variants in the game, and from my experience, they're not as unbalanced as I thought they would be. I thought they were just going to be ridiculously overpowered once you got your epic weapons. they are a little bit better, but they're not as much better as I thought they would be. However, what is stupid is the salvage. The way they're doing the salvage in the game is retarded, and I have a separate video altogether coming out on this, because really when you break it down and look at how much salvage they actually give you, it's abysmal. Like, it is just sad. And like I said, we'll talk about that in another video, but that needs to be fixed. They need to give out more salvage, because not only are they not giving us all the weapons with the proper amount of salvage, they also have separate weapons for supply drops only. So they kind of lied to us before the game came out, because they said they were going to give us lots of salvage to get all the weapons we want, and that we were able to earn all of our weapons, and we can't do that. There's supply drop only weapons. Now, the biggest thing that needs to be fixed in this game, so this is thing number 3, is the network coding, because right now Prestigious Key is big on this. He's talked about this a lot, where there's this big thing in the game called shoot first that die first, and it's true. Like, I've gotten so many gunfights where I shoot someone first and then die first because I don't know why. I don't know whether it's the network coding. I have a feeling it has something to do with the lack of aim assist in this game. Because if you didn't know, they reduced the amount of aim assist on all weapons compared to old Call of Duty games. So I feel like when I'm moving while shooting at someone, it actually causes me to miss bullets because the aim assist isn't locking on that person like it did in past Call of Duty games. But I also think there's definitely a problem with their network coding, and the combination of the two is causing a problem. I also think the health regeneration is a little bit too slow. If they sped it up a little bit, I think it would improve that problem just a little bit as well, because people can see a health bar, so when I'm weak, they know I'm weak. However, I don't know I'm weak because I can't see my health bar. So if they fix those few things, I think that would really improve the way the game is played. For example, I think the maps are actually a lot better than they were in the beta. I'm having fun playing the maps. They look good. They play well. However, if you're not killing people when you shoot them, it kind of ruins those feelings of the maps for you now, doesn't it? Like I said, I'm enjoying playing the game. There's just a few problems with it. So the 3 things I've said so far is the lack of communication with the Call of Duty community, the supply drop and salvage system, the overall network connection that, for some reason, if you shoot first, you die first. And the last thing, and probably the worst thing, is that people didn't want this game. So, as I kind of said earlier, the sales are down in this game. It's been shown that people did not want this game. And that itself is a huge, huge problem for this game. But the thing that most people don't know is that this has happened before in the Call of Duty community. And I haven't heard one Call of Duty YouTuber say this, because back in Call of Duty World at War, people didn't want Call of Duty World at War. No one is talking about this, and it was a thing. Because at the time of World at War being released, obviously it was a World War II shooter. During that time, every other shooter game, minus Call of Duty 4, was a World War II shooter game. And every game coming out at the time was this World War II shooter. You had many Medal of Honor games that were World War II shooters. You had your Battlefields that were shooters. You had your Brothers in Arms. All of the war games coming out at the time were World War II. And people just didn't want World War II games anymore. So when World at War came out, people thought it was cool because it was a new Call of Duty game, but it got into this kind of rut where no one wanted to play these World War II shooters anymore, and people went back and played Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare because they didn't like the World War II shooter aspect to it. This is exactly what's going on with Infinite Warfare. People are sick of these future warfare games. They just don't want them anymore. So when they announce the new ones coming out, people are like, yeah, we've been there, done that. They need another change. And believe it or not, when Advanced Warfare came out, it's one of the top-selling Call of Duties of all time. There's no other way of explaining it, and it's because they did something different. They changed the rules to how Call of Duty was played, and when it first came out, it was praised for that. And then as it went on, people didn't like it. They didn't like the change to it, which is fine. You're completely allowed to have that. The problem is, what we talked about earlier, Infinity Ward, Activision didn't listen to the community saying that and just stuck on with their stubborn ways. But hopefully now that they can see the monetary change, something will change about that. But overall, I'm actually kind of enjoying Infinite Warfare. It's not the best Call of Duty game of all time. I enjoy the maps. I enjoy the guns. There's something wrong with the network connection. Other than that, it's a pretty good Call of Duty game. If you like Black Ops 3, you will like Infinite Warfare. But as for me, I'm going to be sticking with the same content I always make on this channel. We're going to have the Versus series, How Good Is series. We're going to have all the stats on all the guns. It's going to be great. I can't wait to bring it out to you guys. And if you enjoyed, it would be awesome if you could hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, we got tons of great videos coming. So if you are new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. You'll be updated whenever I upload a video. And thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. And until next time. Peace out.